126, that's the number of officers who lost their lives in the line of duty last year. 11 of them were Texas peace officers. Today, all of those officers were honored at the 28th Annual Law Enforcement Memorial Service at Veterans Park and College Station. It was all about honoring the officers who have made what we call the ultimate sacrifice. That is, of course, their lives in the name of protecting residents of the Brazos Valley and beyond. We are joined now by Lieutenant Steve Brock with the College Station Police Department, who is out at that memorial today. Lieutenant Brock, good to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
You guys have been putting together this event for, what, nearly 3 decades now?
Right, this is the 28th annual.
The 28th annual, and to me what makes it even more special is that memorials like these are happening all across the country. It is National Law Enforcement Memorial Week, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So they're happening all over. Why is it so important that we have one right here?
Well, it gives our local law enforcement community the opportunity to come together, honor those officers who have given their lives in the line of duty. It also gives us the opportunity to honor those fallen officers' families and the sacrifice that they have made. And then ultimately, it allows our citizens to come out and show their appreciation for what we go through on a daily basis.
Absolutely. And you all had General Joe Ramirez out there giving that keynote address. He is the Corps Commandant for Texas A&M. He did a fantastic job, no surprise there. He actually drew a couple of parallels between members of the military, including veterans and law enforcement officers. But first, he read this poem. Here's a passage.
Yes, somebody killed a policeman today in your town or mine. While we slept in comfort behind our locked doors, a cop put his life on the line. Now his ghost walks a beat on a dark city street, and he stands at each new rookie's side. He answered the call, of himself gave his all, and a part of America died.
I don't know if Lieutenant Brock can back me up on this, but it was a little tough to keep dry eyes during that when you see so many men and women out there in uniform, and you think of the ones who have worn that uniform and have been lost. So my question is, we know that the family loses so much when a law enforcement officer is killed in the line of duty, but what does the community lose? What does police lose?
Well, police, they lose a brother is what happens, and then the community loses somebody who is willing to stand for those who can't stand for themselves. And not just an officer, but a member of the community, because most of our officers live here in the Brazos Valley. So it hits heavy, it hits home. And recently with Constable Bachman and Mark Hyatt about a decade ago, I personally knew both of those officers, so it is like losing a brother.
Absolutely, and you can attest to that personally. It's losing someone who is willing to lose their life, and that is such a huge asset. That is such a rare thing.
It is.
Lately, in the past few months, law enforcement all over the country have come under scrutiny because of the alleged actions, the alleged questionable actions of certain officers. And General Joe Ramirez commented on that, and I really like what he had to say about it. Let's roll on that.
What that really means is they are exceptional, unusual, not commonplace. Buried under the froth is the fact that less than 0.5% of policemen misfit that uniform. And that's a better average than among clergymen. What is a policeman made of? He of all men is at one the most needed and the most unwanted, a strangely nameless creature who is sir to his face and pig to his back. A policeman must be a minister, a social worker, a diplomat, a tough guy, and a gentleman. And of course, he will have to be a genius, for he will have to feed a family on a policeman's salary.
Lieutenant Brock, we heard what General Ramirez had to say about that it is such a small fraction of officers of the law who misfit that uniform. I love the way he said that. So how do law enforcement in the Brazos Valley try to fight that image?
Well, we do everything that we can to treat people with respect, and I think that is the answer to all of it. You hate that all of law enforcement gets painted with that brush of the small few that do make a mistake. But we treat people with respect, show them that we are human and we're members of the community. We do the best that we can to treat them like they're part of our family as well.
That's right, and that's what you can do. Lieutenant Brock, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.